Hi, Peter.
Hi, Robin. How are you?
I'm good. It's great to have the opportunity to chat with you and to share our conversation with my parish back in Napa. So this is my friend Peter. We met in seminary, and we had a great 2 years together at Virginia Seminary. And
Yes.
Peter is in Morogoro, Tanzania. And would you
Good,
like
good.
to
Thank,
tell us a
thank
little
you
bit
for.
about the job that you have there at the cathedral?
Oh, yes, thank you. So I work at the cathedral as a sub-dean. A sub-dean means a priest, responsible for day-to-day activities at the cathedral, but being bishop himself. Mm,
Wonderful. And
good.
how big is your congregation there at the cathedral?
Yes, my congregation is 600 people, even though in the registration they are about 900, but due to different, activities and different roles, not all 900 would show up in the church, but at least six would show up, 600.
Well, and I love that when I first asked you about that, you said, "Oh, our church is not very big," and, and
Oh,
for
yes.
us, that is a very big church for us in California.
Still, that is not very big in Tanzania because some congregations could go to 2,000 and more than that. So for us and in Africa, it's still a small congregation. And as I said, our cathedral is in town, this town of Morogoro. And apart from the cathedral, we have some other 10 parishes, Anglican parishes
Amazing.
here in town,
11
apart
parishes.
from 110 in the rural.
So is the
Mm.
Anglican Church, is it the largest denomination in Morogoro?
I
Hmm.
could say the second,
Hmm.
the first being Roman Catholic.
Okay.
I could say the second, the first being the Roman Catholic, and the Anglican and the Lutheran Church.
Okay. And
Yes.
is it an interfaith community there? Are there mosques as well, or is it mostly Christian?
It is an interfaith community, and it's like almost Tanzania is the interfaith country, interfaith community, because at our cathedral is not very far from the mosque. We could hear them and they could hear. So
So how are things going with the pandemic in Tanzania? What have there been restrictions on movement and on gathering?
this time is very difficult.
Hmm.
There are a lot of restrictions to some life practices. As you know, schools and colleges and universities were closed up 2 months ago. We are glad that churches were not closed up. So we are allowed to worship, but to keep a distance that is instructed by the Ministry of Health. But there are instructions, very strong instructions on washing hands and
Mm.
emphasis on sanitizing and keeping distance and not visiting other people. And so if you visit some people, there should be a very strong and genuine reason.
So when have visited Tanzania and worshipped, the churches have been very packed, full of people because so many people are coming to worship. So have you had to add extra services so that there's more space for people, or do you have to say only a certain number of people are allowed?
So what we do is we have an extra space, which is a church hall.
Oh,
So
okay.
in this church hall, we could invite some people to come when the space is not enough at the church. But,
Mhm.
but also, I would like to remind you that even though we are allowed to worship, not many people will come to worship because
Oh,
some
okay.
people have these diseases like diabetes. Some
Mhm.
people have different complications. And since COVID-19 affects much people who are, who have other diseases that has stopped some people. But also, due to this pandemic, people receive a lot of information from media, a lot of information from friends, a lot of information from relatives. So they could be restricted by their family members and say to the church, no, even though you are allowed. So the number has decreased. I think to 200 and 208 from 600.
Okay. Which definitely makes it easier to follow those guidelines. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So you were telling me also how you're schooling your children from home now, as well as all of your church duties. So that must be a large burden as well, just on your time and energy.
Sure, it is. It is, and it is done in different ways. One, they have school package from school where they are given exercises to do. And then after doing that exercises, I have to send them back to school, or the school will come and pick them up. And glad enough is that the school where I sent my children is our church, our cathedral school.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we have just started this year. So it's brand new, with brand new pupils, and now they are at home. But second, with staying with them, I have to find different materials. I have to find some games. I have to work with them in a loud space, so as to keep them busy, because I go to work, my wife goes to work. So when we go back, we have to find time, to play with them, to make sure that they do their homework, and make sure that they do all that they are required to do at home.
Yeah, I think this time is hard on everyone in different ways, but I think especially on families with children who are also juggling work, and we know the families that I know as well are struggling to kind of hold all those things at the same time. What
Sure.
what has been helping you, Peter, to get through this this difficult time?
Okay. First of all, the nation was advised by the president himself, saying this is very, very, very hard time. We do not have medicine. We cannot even afford many, testing tools. We do not have that kind of technology. So the only technology that we can rely on is prayer. So we had the president announced the 3-day nation prayer program where we prayed for 3 days, the whole nation. And from there, president insisted that whenever you meet, please pray and pray and pray. So I have been spending this time, reading the word of God and praying, reading the word of God and praying. So this is how I have been spending this time. But also I've been calling those who cannot come to church. I have been calling them. I've been reading to them the word of God. I've been praying with them. I could record a speech, almost 3 to 5 minutes, and I could send to them. Yeah.
Okay. And do you do that on WhatsApp or on?
Yes, I do. I do that on WhatsApp.
Okay. I was just talking with our friend Wadia, and he uses both WhatsApp and Facebook, and I think something else too, because not all his parishioners are on the same platforms. So.
Yes, and as you know, you have been in Tanzania, Robin. Here is very poor. Most of them cannot access WhatsApp. So what I do, I prepare a video, I record a video, but also I write a script so that those who can access WhatsApp, they can watch, And those who cannot access WhatsApp, all of them can receive SMS. So
Mm.
they can have, no, they cannot have smartphone, but they can have, ordinary phones, and then they can receive message. So
That's a lot. That's amazing, Peter, because you're doing the sort of the online worship and the calling and the videos, but then also still doing the in person too. So you have, it sounds like 3 times as much work as normal.
yeah, sure. And apart from that, you are a priest, and you know that church as an organization, it has running costs and so on. And our people here do not pay tithe or offering to the bank. They
Mhm.
bring to church.
Mm.
So in this time, it is very difficult because when I communicate with them, then I advise them to send whatever collection they have made to the church. And most of them do that because otherwise we can't afford
And
paying for water bills and electricity and so on.
Mhm.
So that is very helpful for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, it sounds like what you're doing is bringing a great comfort to your congregation also, and just thinking about um, the way that your president has really said how important it is to pray and to support each other in that.
That is our main dependent weapon.
Hmm. Is there anything else that that you felt different or encouraging during this difficult time?
Oh, yes. The one of challenges that I faced during this time is that, when we insist on these measures like not visiting people and not shaking hands and all these instructions that we receive, not all people understand, and most of people do not observe. So someone could come and knock at your door and say, "Priest, I want to see you," and one, will
Mhm.
come like in a normal life. So it is difficult, and sometimes I feel like, oh, I don't know if this guy will think that I am mistreating or I am, humanizing, because the way that I understand and do and take all these precautions about this, not everyone will understand. Not
Mhm.
everyone will understand. So that is one of the challenge. But as days go and as education is given, then the understanding is getting wide and wide.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing all of this with me, Peter, and with our congregation in Napa. Is there anything else you wanted to add or?
Just to ask that we will, we have all keep in prayer to each other. It is
Absolutely.
the weapon
Thank
that
you
we
so
have.
much. And it's so good to be able to hear some specifics about your situation so we can think about those things specifically in prayer. And I so appreciate your prayers for us and for our congregation also.
Thank you very much, Robin. And I appreciate for you calling all the way from California. God bless you too.
Thank you, Peter. God bless you.
Amen.